Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here, bringing you another one of our live deck profiles. Sorry about the board being already set up. I was trying to record, but apparently my mic was muted. So like, I'm not gonna bother packing that up. We are going to be going over Glaceon Zoroark. So be sure to like the video if you have not already. It's always really appreciated. You guys have been showing mad support, which is why we're uploading this video today. So if you guys want more deck profiles, let me know what decks you want to see me play. Of course, we're going to be doing live deck matches before the deck profiles, like we usually have been doing. Build up that hype, you know what I mean? So let me know what decks you want to see me play and everything like that. Today we're going over Glaceon. I really do like Glaceon. I feel like Glaceon's a very powerful contender. Once somebody builds the perfect deck for it, we will be seeing Glaceon a lot. But to go over Glaceon, Glaceon has 200 HP. Weak to metal, which is annoying, but Necrozma OHKOs it anyways, regardless of weakness, so I don't think it matters too much. I guess it's kind of annoying for like things like Registeel, but there's probably not going to be as much Registeel in the format. We'll see. It has three interesting things going for it. It has the ability Freezing Stare. Now, obviously, we do have the EV here. When you attach a water energy to it, you can evolve directly into Glaceon, so that's really powerful. Its ability is Freezing Stare. Your opponent cannot use the effects of abilities of their Pokemon EX or GX Pokemon. That's crazy disruptive. You do have the, having that active means your opponent can't get out of a lot of situations that they used to be able to. Usually you can Ultra Ball for Lele and play like Sycamore, Bridget, and whatever card you want to be able to do, but they can't do that if your Glaceon's active. Also, they can't play things like Volcanion Steam Up. They can't play Decidueye's Feather Arrow. They can't use Sylvalia's Free Retreat. They can't use Zoroark's Trade. There's a lot of disruption you can do with this Glaceon. It has another attack for Water DCE, doing 90 and 30 to anything on the bench. Just another one of those Night Spear, Night Spear like spread damage attacks. 90-30 is really good. And it's pretty relevant because you have a really powerful GX attack. I forget what it's called, but it does 50 damage times the amount of damage counters your opponent has. So if they have 3 damage counters on them, you're hitting them for 150. 150 plus 3 is 180. If you have a choice band, you're hitting them for 180. 180 plus 3 is 210. I am talking a lot. I'm running out of breath. So it's actually a very good GX attack just to get you a pretty clean knockout after you put the right spread damage on the board. So we are playing a 4-3 Lion. I am pairing my deck with Zoroark. Now, I think I talked about this in the match, but I'm gonna be trying different builds with Glaceon. Right now I'm trying it with Zoroark, and I'm pretty happy with this build, so I'm gonna be showing you guys this build. Next thing I want to try is just straight quad Sylveon, no Zoroark. I guess maybe a White Kyurem still. If you guys are curious, White Kyurem is there because it does hit past Shining Hoopa. This deck literally loses to like Hoopa Stall. So having White Kyurem here to hit 130, it's the only Pokemon in the game that can hit above 120. That's a basic non-GX attacker. So you have access to you have access to things like Aqua Patch and things to set up the White Kyurem easier, which is why we're playing the White Kyurem, because you don't want to lose the straight stall. That's always annoying. But we are playing, back to what I was saying earlier, we're playing a 3-3 line of Zoroark. Now, what I'm doing is I'm giving myself really good mid-game to late-game consistency by playing a 3-3 line of Zoroark at the exchange of having less of an odd to less odds, less chance to lead with Eevee, I guess. Now, leading with Eevee is super important in this deck. That's something I found out. So, I was thinking about cutting out a line, but if I cut out a line, then my mid-game consistency is kind of bad, and you need to be consistent when you play Glaceon. So, especially since if you have a fully set up Glaceon, Lele can actually attack you for 100 if they have a DC attached. So you want your Acerollas, you want things like that. So I'm sticking with 3-3 for now. Next thing I want to try is definitely just a 4-4 split of Glaceon with maybe some Leles and White Kyurems, but no Zoroarks. And just kind of add more consistency cards, like more Shuffle Draw, more Sycamores, and more like Acerollas and Disruption cards and things like that. For now, I'm trying it like this. Let me know if you guys have tested anything. I'm always interested. But I'm fairly happy with my deck list right now. I've been able to win the majority of games I play with this Glaceon deck, so I'm pretty happy with that. I've even been testing it mainly against Duskmane Necrozma, and I'm 40-60, which is not bad considering the matchup, because their Magnezone is not a non-GX attacker, so they can actually use their abilities. So, considering the matchup, it's actually not bad at all having that split. It's getting even closer and closer the more I edit. But that's going to be the Pokemon line. I think we can go over the items next before we go into the supporters. Now, because we are playing Zoroark, we're playing our stereotypical Zoroark engine. It makes me a little bit nervous because item lock's in the format, but I feel like we can beat item lock relatively easily in this deck, especially since we're playing trade. Ooh, lots of sun today. See what we can do about that. 4 Ultra Balls. And of course, for Puzzles of Time, because we are playing Zoroark. I just feel like it's just too good. We can reuse Acerolas, we can reuse some of these item cards I'm going to show you right now, like Aqua Patch. We are playing 2 Aqua Patches. I want to play more, trust me, I do, but just finding the space for more has been super tough. 1 Enhance Hammer, once again, that's another card I want to play more of, but I'm not too sure how good Special Energy is going to be next format, considering that a lot of these Pokemon attack without Special Energies, so we'll see. I'm still playing 1 Enhance Hammer though, because it's always really powerful. 2 Field Blowers, because Garbodor turns off trade. We could probably cut out some Field Blowers if we didn't play Zoroark. For now, I'm playing 2 because we are playing Zoroark. Also, it's just nice to have that, have the ability to get rid of stadiums like Malcorn and things like that. And of course, 1 Rescue Stretcher, putting Pokemon back in the deck is always nice, and we can reuse things like that with Puzzle Times and stuff. So the item line is pretty self-sufficient. It's stereotypical for Aura. I always play 2 Blowers. I always play 1 Stretcher for Ultra Balls. This is just Zoroark decks. I play this. This is generally what I play when I play a Zoroark deck, at the very minimum 1 E-Hammer, and then Aqua Patches because it's water. Once again, I do want to play more Aqua Patches. Aqua Patches, at first, when I first started playing it, I was like, Aqua Patches aren't probably going to be that good because you're an EV before you evolve, and usually you just need to attach a DCE, but the ability to be able to fully set up an EV in 1 turn, or a Glaceon in 1 turn, is something that cannot be slept on. That is a really, really good thing. It's really, really useful is what I'm trying to say. All right, on to the supporters. We are playing 3 N and 3 Guzma. I kind of want to play 4 N, but because I wanted to play a 1 of Cynthia, I decided not to play a 4th N. That Cynthia helps so much, because you saw in the games that like there were so many situations where I didn't want to discard my hand. I didn't want to play N I didn't want to play N because I didn't want to give my opponent a new hand because they're very obviously stuck. You find that your opponent's very obviously stuck a lot when you're playing Glaceon, because they can't do anything a lot of times because they can't play their Lele's for supports. So play the Cynthia. You can shuffle draw. You don't lose all the good cards in your hand, and you can go from there. So that's why I brought it down to 3 Ns and 1 Cynthia. But I'm still playing a 1 of Sycamore. I still feel like Sycamore is good early game. Being able to get that guaranteed 7 is really useful if you lead Eevee, but you don't have a Water Energy in hand, and you need to get that Water Energy for a turn. You don't want to shuffle draw. You usually want to discard and draw so you can increase your odds. So that's why I'm playing that. Stereotypical. Let's see. 1 Bridget. I'm only playing 1 in this deck because you don't actually need Bridget this game. Once you set up a Glaceon, you're fine. Like, everything else can slowly happen as the game goes on. You're not in a rush to do anything. So that's why I'm only playing 1 Bridget, because if you do play Bridget, it's nice. But because in the circumstances where you're not, sometimes you don't need Eevee, right? Then you have to dig for a Float Stone and a Water Energy to evolve your bench, and like have an Eevee on the bench. So you evolve your bench Eevee, you get a Float Stone, you retreat, and then boom, you're set. Sometimes you have to dig for that, so you're not playing Bridget that game. Sometimes you're digging for a Water Energy, so you're not playing Bridget that turn. There's a lot of turns where you're not playing Bridget to where I feel like you don't need 2 Bridges in the deck. So I'm only playing 1 Bridget for the time being. 2 Acerolas. I want to play 3. Trust me, I want to play 3. But right now 2 is fine. I'll probably make some cuts later, maybe add a 3rd one. Acerolas are just good. You can pick up a damaged Glaceon, put back a fresh Glaceon. That's really annoying to your opponent. You have access to Aqua Patches that can help you set up in 1 turn. You can hard evolve another Eevee into Glaceon, attach a DCE Aqua Patch into a Boop, and you have another Glaceon set up on the bench. Like, having Acerolas are good, especially in a format where there's Lele. Even if your opponent can't use the ability of Lele, they can still play it down, attach a DCE, and attack a fully set up Glaceon for 100 damage. You sure you get a 2 KO in return, but they get a 2 KO as well, and you want to avoid that as much as possible. And I'm playing 1 Skyla. Skyla, I found Skyla to be super good. At first, I didn't want to play Skyla at all, but there's so many turns I want to get Field Blower that turn, Aqua Patch that turn, Enhance Hammer that turn, and trading is just like not enough sometimes. So having Skyla as that extra insurance to get those cards that you need that turn is super useful. So I am playing a 1 of Skyla. Skyla is definitely a card that at first I was like, what could I do to help the consistency of this deck? Because every now and then I just whiff the item cards I need. As soon as I threw in Skyla, it fixed so much in this deck. I'm never going to take out Skyla, but I do want to figure out what I'm going to take out for another Acerola. So that's something that can happen with time. For the time being, though, I'm pretty happy. Once again, I'm very happy with this deck list. Just here and there are kinks to be ironed out, but that's what happens when you're playing like a new deck, because there hasn't been a deck like Glaceon before. So it's a brand new archetype as far as styles go. So we're still trying to iron out as many kinks as possible. But I'm pretty happy with the deck that I've built so far. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of my baby girl Glaceon. I'm very excited because the Glaceon is probably going to be a deck that I main until... Oh, actually, that's not true. I'm maining Lucario Garchomp. 100% of the time, I'm maining Lucario Garchomp. But Glaceon, because I love water-type decks, is probably going to be my secondary. We are playing a 3 choice bands, 3... There's a lot of glare, so I don't know if I'll be able to do this properly. 3 choice bands and 3 floatstones. Floatstones, once again, like I did mention earlier, sometimes you gotta dig to make your EV active. Almost every time though, if I don't lead EV, I've been able to get floatstone into a Glaceon turn 1. So I'm most of the time I'm able to get Glaceon turn 1. That's not a huge deal. Oh, actually, give me 1 second. I gotta take out this Bridget. This goes in the wrong deck. Boom. All right. So, and the 3 choice bands, being able to hit 120 with Glaceon is good because it guarantees a lot of 2 KOs. And then being able to hit 150 with Zoroark is also very, very good because 150 after a 30 snipe is 180 damage, so it's pretty good damage right there. So that's why I'm playing that. Although I have had the issue of not having a full bench a lot of the time with Zoroark. So I feel like that's just a me issue though. I gotta play better to make sure that situation happens more often. Oops. Cards be fallen. We are playing 3, 6, and 8 energies. 8 is good. I haven't wanted more. If I whiff energy opening hand, I can usually get it. After like a draw supporter. So I haven't had any desire to play more than 8 in this deck. Although I will say that when I played 7, I was pretty upset. So that's why I brought it up to 8. And I'm playing 4 DCs. Standard DCs. We are playing Zoroark. We are playing Glaceon. So you need your DCs as well. And that's gonna be the deck list, guys. Fairly quick this time. There isn't too much to talk about. The changes I want to make, I've already talked about throughout the video. I don't think there's any other Pokemon I want to play. And I don't think there's any other partner I would play with Glaceon either. At least not yet. People are talking about Ninetales, and you guys know how much I love my baby Ninetales. I can't agree with it right now. Because like it's cool that you can hit those 160 after 30 damage, spread damage is really good. But it's just, it makes a deck a lot clunkier than you would think. And like Eevee is the Pokemon you're gonna have active most of the time, or Glaceon, not Eevee. So when you're playing a partner like Ninetales that is a really good attacker, it's tough because you're gonna have the you're gonna want to have Ninetales active more often, which breaks your lock, your pseudo lock. So I don't really like the idea of Ninetales, so I'm not going to pair it with Ninetales. Not yet, at least. Maybe if somebody built a really good list and I'm completely wrong, it's always a possibility. Draw support Pokemon, if you take out the Zoroarks, maybe a Rangaroo. I just don't usually have an empty hand. Even whether I have Zoroark on play or not. There's a lot of games where I don't have Zoroark in play, which made me think that it's not even a bad idea if you do take out the Zoroarks. Although there are some fun cards you can play in this deck. You can play things like Delinquent. You could play, obviously, Team Flare Grunt, Team Rocket's Handiwork. Probably not Team Rocket's Handiwork since it's not really a deck-out deck. You're still very offensive. I think offensive Disruption is the best way to play Glaceon. So if you want to play Team Flare Grunts, I could see it. I don't like hammers though. I would never play hammers. I don't flip well, man. Your boy is not good with flips. But anyways, thank you guys all for watching the video. Drop a like if you have not already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz. And yeah. I think in the next deck I'm going to be playing, a lot of people are asking me to play Empoleon. So I'm going to play Empoleon, but what is a matchup you guys want to see? Empoleon versus what? Ideally, it's a deck I haven't played on the channel yet. So let me know in the comments down below. Drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.